Hello, I'm Tammy Walker, Director of Dishes at Boxy Queens, and today I'm making a little diorama called Curves Ahead. I had this old cigar box I was just about to throw out, and I said, oh, this will be perfect for just a quick, simple diorama for the day. I had a piece of foam, I cut it out to fit inside, and I found these Curves Ahead signs online, and I printed them out and roughed up my pop can aluminum and glued them onto it. I'll cut them out later and add them to some little wood sticks. So I did cut out a little bit more of the foam to add a little slope, and I painted it with gesso and brown mixture. And with Video Magic, that has dried, and now I'm putting on the Mod Podge mat. I'm going to cover that everywhere that I'm going to put dirt. I got a ukulele for my birthday, and I just started learning some chords. So I thought it'd be nice to have a little bit of musical interludes throughout my shows, and that way I don't have to come up with something to say every time. You can find dirt at a yard near you for free. I go ahead and put it on a tray, spread it out, let it dry out, and then I'll sift it and take different coarsenesses and put them in different little containers. And if I want a super fine dirt, I will use a nylon and shake it out onto stuff. I'm just kind of going with a medium coarse dirt here, pressing it down, make sure I get all the little spots, and shake it out onto the lid I cut away from this cigar box. And then I just dump it right back into the container again, waiting for another diorama to be made in the future. I've watered down my Mod Podge about 50%, and I have a little eyedropper I'm going to mix everything up with, and I'm going to start dropping this watered down glue over the dirt to seal it in. With the dirt all wet, I'll go ahead, use my palette knife, scoop some dirt out, and sprinkle some over. And that just helps absorb any excess glue and kind of gives a little bit of depth and dimension, a little bit more realism, and a great base for my static grass and any plants I decide to add. For the upper level, I'm going to add my Mod Podge mat, brush it around on there, and I'm going to add medium ballast gray blend. It will look like a gravel road. I'm just going to shake it around. It's okay if it meshes in with the dirt because that's still wet, and that's good. That's what I want to happen. I used a little car I had to push in tracks and to kind of push off to the edge a little bit, and even added a little bit more into the middle sections to divide the path of the two vehicles. And once again, I'm using that watered down Mod Podge mat and my eyedropper, and going to seal all that gravel in and have to put that to the side and let that dry for a while. Most of the time, it's just waiting for something to dry, so I like to keep myself busy with other projects, such as that giant cat head over my shoulder. I still need to finish up its paint job, and that should be done. And I'm also working on the Hall of Doom from the Justice League, which was a 1980s cartoon. I'm just setting everything up just to get a visual of what I expect it to look like. I have all my little signs made. I actually will use Mod Podge gloss and put it over the top of the signs to give it just a nice little luster and make them look a little bit more realistic. I pulled out some trees and picked some that might work for this, kind of temporarily put them in different areas. I had some static grass left over from another project, and it kind of got a little bit of fluff balls in it, but no worries, the fluff balls don't stick when you stick it on. And I had a little bit of coarse turf from when I very first started miniatures and a little bit of moss. So I'm going to put down some Mod Podge mat everywhere where the trees aren't, so I can go ahead and add my static grass. I have a static grass applicator, and I'll just use that. I'll shake the grass onto everything. I'll then dump it out, and then I'll go ahead and shake on a second coat. Sometimes even a third coat works well. I also use a little fine turf called weeds, and I will sprinkle that on while it's still wet. So I've added my trees. I put that moss in the back corner. I'm going to add glue to it, and I'm going to sprinkle that mixture of coarse turf I had from that little bag. This project took more time drying than it actually did putting together, but it was fun. I did this in about 5 hours, and it was an easy thing to do with stuff I had around. Now I put a little bit more plants in. I added a little dog to make you wonder if this little neighborhood dog is causing people to crash off the road. I added some tiny car parts, and I added some rusty colors to the signs to make them appear older the farther down you go in the pile. And that has been a great fun project, really simple, and just stuff I had sitting around, and used up some stuff that just been sitting there. So it's always fun to do a project like that. Hey, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.